yelling at the poor police officers out there trying to keep order. Why won't you let me turn in here? Many times it's hot and you're sweating and it's crowded and it's crazy because y'all be bringing crazy people up in here. I mean, one time I was driving up right there, and I was going slow, well, maybe a little fast, but mostly slow, and I was coming up. And out of the blue, you know that row of bushes, the high bushes over there? This guy just breaks out of the bushes. Sweating, got leaves on him. And he looks at me to stop, and he gives a signal, and here comes his wife. She comes out, she got moss on her hair. She got these little high heels. Then I see these kids they're just sweating, moss, leaves, mud, and I'm just looking at them, and the guy's just what you gonna do? What? I'm just I'm sorry, man. You just go to church. I'm sorry. Just rolls on up in there. It's the crowds. Listen, now the parking will be better. But we're always going to have the crowds. We're always going to have the crazies. Do you know the people? Do you remember what some of you were like when you first came to this church? Man. Just a few things, just a few of my favorite stories from this year. I remember I was on the right there where James is, right there on that front row. I remember there was this guy sitting behind me. He was so drunk. It was he reeked, man. Come on, if you're going to drink some good stuff. That stuff, I don't know what he'd been drinking. Mad Dog 2020, something. I don't know. Golly. And he reeked, and he was drunk. He was sitting right behind me. I was thinking, man, I got to preach. I'm getting high off the fumes here. I can't. And I almost, watch, this is why it's so important. I almost said something. Almost somebody get this guy. I almost, and man, God caught me right there. And was what? These are the people that need to be here. Now, we keep order. We don't allow anything like that. Listen, I'm telling you, we got people in here packing heat. We got people hidden. I'm telling you, you try to do one thing, you will be tackled. You don't want to mess with things up in here. Our security guys just live to take people out. That's all. I'm just y'all calm down. No, you can't take them out. This guy, so I get up and preach. I forget all about it. And then at the end of the sermon that I'm going to do in a few minutes here, when I'm doing the call, I'll look over there. This guy stands up, weeping uncontrollably like a baby. And right there gives his heart to God. I meet him after the service. Just a total encounter with Jesus. Just his whole life radically changed, just right there. But you have to be the type of church that's willing to get a little messy. You've got to be the type of church that's willing to have some crowds, to have some craziness. I remember people would see, I'd meet other whoever, and they're like, man, how many people y'all have? 10,000? How many campuses? How many? And they're giving me this look like this. It's that look like, well, you must be doing something wrong for the church to grow like that. Ain't no way a church can grow like that. Must be compromising something. Listen to me. Everywhere Jesus was, there were crowds. Even when he went to the Podunk Country satellite campus, way out in the deserted place where he was going to feed. It was 5,000 men. It'd be 20,000 people if you counted all the wives and the families. He's out there at the Podunk satellite campus. You know what I'm saying? No offense if you're from Stark, but that would be like West Stark. That would be like even outside of Stark. Stark needs to chill with those policemen pulling everybody over in that speed trap. Tricking everybody. And I was even warned about it. They're like, Pastor, you gotta look quick. It drops down to 35. You don't even know it. I'm going through there doing my usual 55. I'm going through there. Like I see a bird, boom, there's a third. No, I haven't slowed down. Come on, they didn't get me. You don't mess with God's man. I'm only kidding. I need to lighten up. Don't go out of here speeding saying you're God's man, you're God's woman. But listen, we're always going to be a church that loves God's presence, and we want people from every walk of life to experience God's presence. And if you're going to love God's house, you've got to love God's presence and be for God's presence. That's what Jesus is teaching the disciples here. And the final thing is this. Wonderful places to praise. Some of you today, you're going to pick up your mat. You're going to pick up that thing that's been holding you down, and you're going to walk out of here and say, man, God's done great things in my life. And the last thing here, I love this. The tax collector, Levi, the mobster, he invites Jesus to his house, and he throws a big party. So Jesus was in open places to preach, sacred places to pray, worshipful places to praise, and festive places to party. Jesus loves a party. Have y'all noticed that? If there's one thing you cannot deny, Jesus loves celebration. There's something about the way that God made us as human beings. We want to celebrate. We love to. Have you thought about Jesus' first miracle at Cana where he turned the water into wine? You know, he didn't make that wine to be communion. That was supposed to be a 7-day party. His mom was in charge of the refreshments. They ran out of wine. That 7-day party was about to be a 3-day party and end early. And Mary was going to be holding the bag for this party going south. So what does she do? She goes up to Jesus. She's like, we're out of wine. Jesus is like, Mom, what's that have to do with me? My time hasn't come yet. She must have looked at him and been like, oh yeah, it has come. Come right now. I would have loved to have seen that interaction, because all the Bible says is this. Mary says, we're out of wine. She says, what does that have to do with me, Mom? My time hasn't come yet. The next thing we see Mary say is, she looks at the servants and she says, all right, whatever he tells y'all to do, and you're going to tell him something to do. Whatever he tells y'all to do, you do it. Get over there right now. Get there. Fix this thing. First miracle. He makes a 3-day party, a 7-day party. He's always at the feast. He's always going to the parties where he's invited. Here he is with the mobsters. If you're reading another gospel, it was the notorious sinners. It was all the people that were famous for being bad. And here's Jesus. I wonder how we would react if someone went to a party where there were people that were famous for being bad. They didn't go there to do something stupid. They just went there to witness because they were invited. That's what Jesus is doing right here. And that's why the Pharisees said, how can you do this? Don't you know we're against this? How can you eat with such scum? And what Jesus says is basically this. I understand we're against this type of evil lifestyle, but more than I'm against that, I'm for people, and I'm for Levi, and I'm for these sinners, and I'm for all these people. Oh, come on, give God a hand for that.